Hello everyone, hello class. You're welcome back to my YouTube channel. It is Mrs. Sandra here again. I'm super excited to be welcoming you guys back to our classes and back to this new semester. I have great news. It's exactly a few months or like a month and a half before you get to explore your first job experience, to have your first job experience as an undergraduate through the industrial training scheme. How exciting can that be? How exciting can that be? Of course, it's a wild thoughts, like I know the thoughts going through your head. So that's what this video about. This video is about. I'm here to help you answer the questions on where you want to do your industrial training, places you want to explore, the fields that are available for you as an undergraduate student in Nigeria, and that's what this video is about. So come on board with all your questions and your thoughts and your doubts, because this video is about to answer that. Get ready, okay? Okay, let's get straight into it. So we'll be talking about the different areas where you think you can have your industrial training in microbiology. We have practically like there's many places that we can explore for our training. We have the medical microbiology, we have industrial slash food microbiology. We also have petroleum microbiology. We also have molecular labs where you can visit and have this experience. So let's talk about each aspect, like each area, like exclusively. Yeah, let's discuss each area. So the first place I want to be discussing is, okay, let me stand here, is medical microbiology. This is like one of the most popular and easiest places you can actually find to do your industrial training. Why is that so? There are lots of private labs in every state and a lot of general private and public hospitals that you can visit for your industrial training in medical microbiology. That's what you're excited about. So what do you hope to get here, to achieve here? In medical microbiology, you get to meet firsthand this individuals, patients that is actually having health related problems relating to microorganisms. So you get to meet your patients and you get to take their samples, then you get to isolate your organism, then profile solutions by carrying out mostly antibiotic sensitivity tests. So in medical microbiology, what do you hope to expect? You get to learn how to take a blood sample, collect samples, blood samples, stool sample, urine sample, and you get to take a biospem of like a sample from your patient. You get to take a sample from your patient and then culture your sample, prepare media in the lab, and also now prefer solutions by advising them on the antibiotic test, antibiotic sensitivity that you've investigated in the lab. That's what generally a medical laboratory here in Nigeria can offer you. So if you're excited about exploring this field in medical microbiology, I think you should consider going to a hospital, a private lab that carry out investigations about health related issues, and that's where you get this experience. So straight off on our next list is the industrial or food microbiology. I'm super interested, and this area actually pokes my heart because this is exactly where I did my own industrial training. So I did mine at Standards Organization of Nigeria. It's kind of an area, it's an industry just like NAFDAC, of course, which is focused on food, checking the quality of food. But unlike NAFDAC, Standards Organization of Nigeria does not only check the quality of food, they also check qualities of every product that gets into the market. So you can consider going to SON, that's their code, then consider going to NAFDAC, then Nigerian breweries, then what else? There are so many pharmacies you can also work in. We have Johor Pharmacy in Enugu. I'm trying to say the ones that I have off of my head, but you can also check online. But I also promise that I'll be leaving a link that will help you guys go to. I'll prepare a list and I'll leave it on my link on all the places you can explore for each of the fields, all the close places beside it that you can go and drop in your paper for industrial training and hope they take you. So in NAFDAC or SON, what do they do there? Every sample of food that needs to get to the market must go through NAFDAC before it gets approved. So what does NAFDAC do? They have a lot of industrial machines, laboratory machines that help to check the quality of food. So everything that you've been taught in class about quality of food, the what they call it, how to calculate the colony forming unit, okay? How do you check the quality of food? How to prepare media, how to take a sample of food and prepare it to check if there is actually growth on it, if there are actually microorganisms that can be dangerous to health. That's what NAFDAC does. And you get to experience firsthand, come in contact with a lot of great machines, great laboratory equipment that you probably not meet on a regular day. So it's actually interesting and fun to work in NAFDAC. But unlike it's a bit different for Standards Organization of Nigeria, because in SON you get to visit different food industries for their food units, which was where I worked. They go through, they daily visit food industries and check their production process to help check if they meet up to the standard in their production process. They check the environment where they produce this food and if they are meeting up with all the microbiological qualities that should be met while preparing this food. So after they check and consider that you're fit, your sample will still be taken to SOM for another quality check. And also there are also water companies that you can visit. They also have a microbiology lab where they check the quality of the water they produce and put out to the public. And also various food industries like bread. Of course, you know that the bread company makes use of yeast while they're producing their samples. You have the custard company. I'm trying to mention the ones that are off of my head. And also so many private companies that are coming up now, because I know of so many private companies that are now producing baby foods in Nigeria. So these are places to explore and have an exciting experience as a microbiologist. So next off of my list is the petroleum microbiology. This is actually a quite limiting but interesting field in Nigeria, because this petroleum microbiology is found mostly in the west, like in Port Harcourt. You can find them in Lagos, and these are if you worry also in Delta State. I know they have a petroleum well there, so you can visit these places, and they have a microbiology lab where you can help check the quality, the microorganisms that help in petroleum production in the lab, like oil fields. There are microorganisms that are being isolated there that also help in their production. They help to clear up the field. Like when there is a spillage in the environment, there's something called biodegradation. Yes, this is where petroleum microbiology comes in. So we can help explore the microorganisms that help to carry out biodegradation in the environment. So this is what you'll be doing in a petroleum microbiology lab. So where are places you can explore here? Of course, you have the NMPC. That's the one that comes off my head, because I could remember a colleague of mine then working with NMPC. I think it was in Abuja, and they had a lab. So I think you can also consider it if you have the ability to travel to these places to do your industrial training. So straight up on my head, the final but not the least is a molecular lab. Most undergraduate students that in various universities in Nigeria are doing microbiology, for their project work, they most times not have the equipment that will help them complete their project work. So what do? They send out their samples to private molecular labs that will help them carry out this work. So they have trained microbiologists, trained lab technicians that know exactly what to do. So working in a molecular lab is an interesting one. So just like someone that works in lab, that you get to meet firsthand this equipment that you probably not see on a daily basis. So they are very my final year, okay, not in my final year, my master's project work, I actually did it in a private lab in Lagos called Fawon Private Lab. So in this lab, we were exposed to a lot of equipment that I've probably not seen in my life, like the PCR. So I got to use the PCR first off, and so many other equipments that I cannot speak of right now. So working in molecular lab, and also you've heard about DNA labs that help check the DNA of kids. That's where microbiologists can work there. So these are places to explore. There's just, I think, I know of one molecular lab in Enugu, which I'll be dropping the name on my link, and so many in the West. So if you're considering working in a molecular lab, that'll be an exciting experience for you, okay? So now, when you get to the lab, when you get to your place of work, what do you expect? What are you expected to do? Of course, you'll be handed over a logbook as you begin your daily work schedule. So every day you take a record of everything that you're being done, that you're being taught, that you experience, that even if you're not being taught, everything you can see with your eyes, that you observe that is new for you, new techniques, and you begin to write it down. As an undergraduate microbiologist working in SON, I always took record of every visitation, every industry we visited, every food industry we visited. I mentioned their HACCP method, their in-process procedures on how they carry out, check the quality of food. So this was what was basically on my logbook. So your logbook will differ from your colleague's own depending on what is the work schedule for where you're working. For someone in medical, the person will be taking record of patients that they met, how they try to diagnose their disease, and what they did in the lab to help provide solutions for their patients. So it will be different for everyone, but generally this is exactly what you do. And by the time you're rounding off, you're coming back after 3 months to come and tell us exactly what you did. And we, the lecturers, will be super excited to meet you guys and help you guys, grade you guys on your performance. And that's just generally what happens in an industrial training. That's how an industrial training works. So I know you're super excited about experiencing this, and I hope this video has helped you. If you have any questions, do well to drop your questions and I'll be glad to answer them. And remember to subscribe to my channel. And I also mentioned I'll be dropping a list of most of the places you can visit in microbiology for those that stay in Ebonyi State, Enugu and Anambra. These are the ones I can get off my head. And I also mentioned some labs that I know in Lagos because I too lived in Lagos for like 2 years. So I hope drop some labs there and places to explore. Okay, if you have questions, do well to drop it. Thank you and bye.